Hey there, ghouls and ghosts. Welcome to Seven Scorpion Tarot. I am your host with the most, and I want to welcome you to tonight's reading. So, tonight I want to first start off with a happy Halloween, happy Samhain, happy early All Saints Day for my recovering Catholics out there. So, for tonight, I want to, pull a few cards and see maybe what might we might have access to while the veil is thinnest. In our own psyches, what barriers might be broken down for wounds that we might need to do some more healing on, or that we might just need to reflect on so we can kind of put them on the shelf and move forward, in this season of transformation as we've got the new moon in Scorpio tomorrow. So let's get some cards and get it going. Let's see what we've got here. So I'm going to start with it's the Oracle of Souls, the Mausolea deck. See maybe who can help shepherd us through this transformation. Let's see. Hades. This is actually the card I got for the YouTube reading. Interesting. Very, very synchronous. And especially for the time of year as we're getting beat over the head with Pluto and Capricorn moving into Aquarius, which, like I said in the YouTube reading, I take personally as a Capricorn moon and Aquarius rising. But one of the things that I had mentioned in the other reading was this golden apple that he's holding, which appears to be artistic license, because I can't really find anything, or wasn't able to find anything just on the fly there regarding the golden apple beyond currency in a video game, because I would think it would be a pomegranate would be, the symbolism associated with Hades due to Persephone. But the subtext here and here too, he's the Lord of Riches. So that, to me, that rings true in individuation, that we're going down into the underworld, into the unconscious, and transmuting, synthesizing those wounds into ourselves and accepting them as part of our journey, as part of our story, rather than rejecting them. And that's where the gold lies, that once we can truly tend to those wounds is when we can access the true self, the resolution of individuation. And on the lower subtext, we've got equanimity, wisdom, and inevitability. So that could be speaking to, this journey comes for all of us. Like with Saturn in Pisces right now, I think it's still in retrograde. Those Saturn returns that, most of us have two, the luckiest of us have three. Those are big deals. And mine just so happened to coincide with the pandemic, so I feel like I had an extra tough one. And I know I'm not alone in that situation. I'm sure there are other people that went through the same thing, other millennials specifically. But those painful, transformative lessons, those are so incredibly important. Because I could have easily spent my whole life thinking the extent of my destiny was the 9 to 5 life. And I damn near abandoned the creative parts of myself, which, as a Pisces sun, that's a slow death. And that's a slow death for anybody. That's not unique to Pisces. Because that creative fire is so, so important to a rich, fulfilling life. But I had become so entombed in, I gotta pay my bills, I gotta pay my student loans, I gotta pay my blah, 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 blah. Whatever. It's tough out there for a player, right? Am I right? Holy shit. And it just doesn't seem to get better. Like every time, like I might squeak out, a little bit more money, things get more expensive. Get a little bit more money, things get more expensive. More money, more expensive. And the hamster wheel continues to turn. I don't like living like that. And I don't, it's really hard to be grateful for a lot of the things that I've experienced. But had I not, I would not have been pushed to the edge towards that inevitable transformation. And it may not even have been inevitable, but the choice or the path that you could end up on is an inevitability. I don't know if that made a lick of sense. But you have to end up on a path. It's just a matter of which one. And I'm glad it's the one that made me give my creative side CPR. So let's get an animal spirit to see maybe someone to meditate on, guide some visualizations potentially as we go through this season of transformation, literally and figuratively. Scorpio season. Shark! It's weird. I have a strangely irrational fear of sharks despite living in a landlocked state. Like, terrified of sharks. I'm like, where are they? But interesting. So we're talking about the time of transformation and then pull a card of a creature that, like, nearly perfected its evolution, how long ago? I mean, I'm sure there have been adaptations that I'm just unaware of because I'm not a sharkologist. But I mean, their teeth, they cycle through, like, throughout their whole life. They're so different than us in that regard. Like, when one breaks off, I doubt a great white shark gets caught in a cycle of rumination about its broken tooth. It just grows a new one. Fresh, sharp. So that adaptability on whatever journey you're on. Interesting. Maybe you've had to be adaptable. in order to make it through this thing you're going through. Because we're always going through something. But that'd be a fun visualization meditation, like to put yourself in the perspective of a shark. It'd be really cool. And interesting too that, like, because I love the, like, when they jump out of the water. But when they accidentally attack, like, a surfer, maybe that's a metaphor. Like, assess. Like, take pause and assess whatever it is you're looking at that's right in front of you before you chomp on it, before you take a bite out of it. Because it might not be something you want to sink your teeth into. The Hermit. This came out in the previous reading too. Maybe there's something in that message over there for you. That one got a little heavy, not gonna lie. There's some heavy energy in that one. It was a long reading. So the Hermit. These have very similar color schemes. Hades is actually the most colorful card out of the three, between the purple and the gold. But there's this, like, gradient transition from dark to light. And the Hermit has a light in the darkness. So an inward journey, or this is the reflection time that you're putting everything together for the lesson. I want one more. Clear that up a little bit. This card came out in the other reading too. Why so many repeating messages? Huh. But the Daughter of Cups, so the Page of Cups, the student of emotions, I'd mentioned in that other reading, the rainbow here, that she's running the gamut of emotions. And there might be something important in the story of the ugly duckling, that this transformation is it leading you to your group, to your people? Because this is some pretty, juxtaposed energy. Because I think sharks eat turtles, like sea turtles and stuff. That looks like a tortoise. Oh, maybe you went inward to get away from some destructive influence. And it was a very emotional transformation. But it gave you a light in the darkness. Wow, big stuff. Like, it feels big. That You got through this, you got away from this shark, and you held on to that, like, inner flame, that inner spark that makes you you. Even in the face of Hades. Cool. Maybe the energy is just heavy because Samhain. But like the other reading, got a little self care because things are heavy. And both of these readings are turning out long. If you stuck out this far, I appreciate it. We're just going to go with Dune 2. So, Pocket Full of Sunshine, Natasha Bedingfield. I wasn't able to fit her full name on the card. I think that's her name. But that's a good song. It's, man, it brings back memories. And take yourself out to a meal. So, in that introspective journey that can easily turn into isolation, I highly recommend taking yourself out on some sort of date, whether it's a meal, taking yourself out to a movie, whatever it is you like to do, but spend time, quiet time with yourself, not distracted time, doom scrolling because of anything and everything that's on any platform right now regarding the election. So maybe a restaurant that doesn't have TVs. That sounds like a nice idea. I might do that this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I hope this helps. I hope it resonates, and if it doesn't, I hope the next one does. Thank you so much.